Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Kickoff Discussion Podcast. Well, the game between Arsenal and Brighton ended in a 1-1 draw due to an unfortunate circumstance in the game whereby Declan Rice received a red card in the early minutes of the second half. If you ask me, that was an unfortunate circumstance. To be honest, I wasn't pleased with the way the thing ended, and it's painful that we lost 2 points at the Emirates, of which at that point in time we are already in control of the game and we are leading 1-0 up. So losing 2 points is quite painful because this is the early part of the season and we ought to try as much as possible to keep the momentum going and keep winning every game that comes our way. However, that wasn't the case against Brighton, as we lost 2 points in the process, and I will discuss about the red card separately later in the video. And before I move on, I will just start with our tactics and game plan in this game. I've already discussed Arsenal's tactic and game plan on multiple occasions, and today was no exception for what we've been seeing with Arsenal and from Mikel Arteta as well. Today we have just one changes out of the team that played against Aston Villa. So Leandro Trossard came in place of Gabriel Martinelli in the lineup. So when we are in the first phase of the build-up, our shape changes to 3-2-5, where we have Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, and Ben White as the three-man defense. In the midfield, Julian Timber inverts into the middle of the park, joining Thomas Partey in the middle, forming a double pivot in the middle of the park, and we have the likes of Saka, Havertz, Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and Leandro Trossard in the attacking phase of the game. So there are some difference from this game compared to Aston Villa's game, where we have lot of space in the middle of the park, and we as a team are afraid to take advantage of those spaces. But this time around in the midfield, I think the Brighton manager has done his homework very, very well, just to know that if Arsenal have switched into a 3-2-5 shape, there tend to be loads of space in the middle of the midfield. However, they did brilliantly well to shut down those spaces, and they converge majority of the time into the midfield, and that left us with just space on either flank or the pitch. However, we could not really capitalize on those spaces, because as soon as we try to switch ball into either side of the pitch, they did well to quickly shut down those spaces for us. And some things that we did not do right in this game, and the first one is we do not effectively execute our high press strategy in that game, because majority of the time, once we lose the ball, everybody comes back in behind the ball, and sometimes we only did high press a couple of times in the game, maybe 2 or 3 times in the game, especially in the first half. I would say especially in the first half, we only have high press situation in a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times in the first half. And however, as I said earlier, we struggle to play in the middle of the park, I would say, because that's largely due to how Brighton converge into the middle of the park, and they shut down all those spaces that were supposed to be left open with what we have, with that formation that we use, with that tactics, with that game plan. And our counter press as well is not good enough. As soon as we lose the ball, there should be 1 or 2 players that quickly cover up to retrieve the ball, but that did not happen in that game, and we were just somehow sluggish in terms of ball recovery. So that's what I would say, because when we lose the ball, everybody is concerned with dropping deep to cover all those spaces. And sometimes, if you lose the ball and you use that counter press strategy, majority of the time you end up to win the ball, and you can actually quickly transition into attack. So these are just the things that I see in that game that I think we should have done better in that game. And moving on to the red card that was received by Declan Rice. Well, for me, the very first foul that I had, that was a foul, and that was actually a yellow card for him. And the second time, well, there are two things I will just discuss it from two perspectives. The number one thing is the ball. The guy kicked the ball to Declan Rice, and the ball was still rolling when a Veltman made an attempt to play quickly. From Declan Rice's perspective, he interfered with play, and which is punishable by the rule of the game. So if Declan Rice didn't interfere with the ball, him walking away from the ball alone could have delayed Veltman from quickly taking that free kick. However, if Veltman quickly take that free kick like that as the ball was rolling, the referee will eventually restart the game. It will restart the game. But given Declan Rice's second yellow and red card, from my own perspective, that wasn't good enough. And that brings me back to the same mistake, I would say the same error committed by João Pedro in the first half, whereby the ball went out of play. The referee has already blew for a throw-in, and he intentionally kicked the ball away, and the referee did not do anything to punish him. That was a punishable yellow card for him, but the referee didn't do that, and Declan Rice did that in the second half, and eventually he gave him a yellow card for it. If Brighton was in our own half and he did that to disrupt the attack, I quite understand that he deserved to be given a red card, a second yellow, and eventually a red card in that. But he did not. That was far away in their opponent. That's just the final third in the opponent's half. So giving him a red card in that regard wasn't just good enough from my own perspective, and I think the officiating should have been a bit fair. And I think the way officiating is going in England, I'm not just pleased with the way they do their things. I'm not pleased. Sometimes, they do silly things with their officiating, and that diminishes the standard of the league itself. So that is what I have to say about that. I'm moving on to key moments in the game. Well, the first goal came for us in the second half, where Julian Timber cleared the ball out, but fortunately for us, Lewis Dunk didn't do well, and Bukayo Saka got the best of him, and eventually he spotted Kai Havertz and he set him up, who converted brilliantly well. That was a fantastic goal, by the way. He lifted the ball on because the goalkeeper was already out of his line to cover the ball. Eventually, Kai Havertz was intelligent and he put the ball over the goalkeeper, and the ball was in the back of the net. That was a fantastic goal, if you ask me, because we were contemplating of having another striker in this transfer window. Well, Mikel Arteta stick to what he have at this point in time, which is Kai Havertz to top the line. Well, I agree with his point. I agree with his decision, and today again he scored another goal. That was fantastic for him. And moving on, in the second half, after Declan Rice got the red card, few minutes after that, we were completely destabilized. And during that time, Minte got the best of our defense because they stretched our defense, and Lewis Dunk, he was intelligent. He put the ball straight to Minte, who did well, but David Raya saved the ball, but the rebound, João Pedro got the rebound and he put it. He did not make any mistake. He put it in the back of the net. And after that time, we were cohesive in terms of defending, and getting a red card today tests our defensive solidity. And from my own perspective, I think I think we are defensively solid. We are defensively solid. If we do not get that red card, I think we could have walked away with 2 or 3 goals in that game. However, that wasn't the case. Fortunately for Brighton, we got a red card and they got the best of that destabilization in our team. And that was just how it is from the game. And moving on to individual performances, well, if you ask me, Kai Havertz again, he delivered, he did well in that game. But for me, in that second half, that opportunity that we had, it would have sealed that opportunity with that one-on-one he had with the goalkeeper. I think if he had scored that goal, it would have been the end of the game. We would have completely seen the game by that time. But well, I will not dwell more on that attempt, because for the very first time his run was perfect and he picked the ball very brilliantly well. He attacked the opponent's half and he got the ball on target. If he had played it off target, that's completely different thing. But he put the ball on target. But for me personally, I just think he would have done better from that point, because that was just an opportunity for us to have increased our advantage in that game. And the likes of Bukayo Saka, this is the third game in a row is involved. Another assist for him is involved in the game. This is just the second player to have goal involvement in 3 games in the Premier League. The very first player that did that was Thierry Henry back in 2006 or so, if I'm not mistaken. But this time around, Bukayo Saka, well, he started the season well, and let's just see how things go for him. So for me, Thomas Partey as well, fantastic baller, fantastic. He was fantastic throughout, especially after Declan Rice received a red card. I thought he would not be able to handle the pressure in the middle of the park. However, he did brilliantly well. It was brilliant all through. So if I'm to rate his performance today, for me, I will give him an 8. I'll give him an 8 for this performance, because he did his job brilliantly well in that midfield. So, well, and again, David Raya as well, fantastic guy. I think it's not even more. It's no more a debate, because David, our manager, has been vindicated with the choice he made to bring in David Raya in the first place. So it's not even a debate. It's proved the reason why Arsenal got him into the team. So fantastic guy. He was so fantastic today, and I'm so happy with his performance, and all our defensive line. Brilliant performance. But for me, that goal that was conceded, I think Gabriel should have done more. I think he should have done more. In that situation, because he had every opportunity to prevent Minte from taking that shot in the first place. But it is what it is. We walked away with a point. It's not a bad result, but I'm not just pleased with the way we lost that 2 points. Well, you can let me drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the game. Do you think that red card that was given to Declan Rice, do you think that is what a red card? That is what the second year line, virtually a red card. I will look forward to your response in the comment section. Thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you in another episode. And bye for now.